What's up everyone, welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. So today, to celebrate the release of WandaVision, and because it's close to Valentine's Day, just like we did with Scarlet Witch, we're going to talk about the top 5 visions in Heroclix. So without further ado, let's get to the list. Alright, coming in at number 5 for Vision is the Civil War, Captain America Civil War movie set Vision. Now for 125 points, he is a bit expensive. I do actually like this +5 optional trait though for plasticity. It does come in handy quite a bit. And then he does have the Avengers Initiative team ability there, which is really great. No specials or anything, but as we can see here, he starts with Flight, Sidestep, 10 attack penetrating blast for 3 damage, 17 with invulnerability and a 6 range. And the Indomitable was nice. Now again, when the rules change, that won't really make a difference, but it did help him back in the day. And like I said, the plasticity was quite helpful. You'd be surprised when he gets based, you can just sidestep away really easy and then penetrating blast. So that actually came up quite a few times, the couple times I played him. And his dial is fairly consistent, so then he gets some invincible and probability control there. Then he goes into some steel energy, and then he ends it there with some pulse wave and regen. And yeah, pretty good. Lots of prob there. Oh, more regen there at the end. So yeah, lots of cool little things he can do. You know, between regen and steel energy, he can actually heal up quite a bit. The pulse wave is really strong, and the penetrating blast is nice as well. And like I said, for all those sidestep clicks, the plasticity really does help to get him away to penetrating blast something, or even just to run in and lock down some characters with the plasticity is not something most people would expect. But yeah, a little bit overcosted for 125, but he's done pretty well for me. So for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 5. All right, coming in at number 4 for Vision for me is the old marquee figure from the Chaos War set. Now, if you don't know what a marquee figure is, basically he came in his own little box and he was just like, like $5 or $10 or something. You just bought him by himself. I think it came with the brick. I don't really remember. This is way back when I first started playing the game. They had a couple of these marquee figures around that time. This one was really cool though, one of my first ones. But anyway, he does start with this really cool phase teleport special where once per turn, if a number 6 comes up on a die for an attack roll when opposing character attacks Vision, you may force an opponent to re-roll that die. And when an opposing character with the armor or robot keyword attacks Vision, modify Vision's defense by +2. So now, I kind of wish that was a trait, because it's kind of easy to forget when he clicks off of that, that he doesn't have it anymore. But it is really cool if you're going up against some armor or robot keywords to get that +2 defense is really awesome. And that number 6 die replacement, or re-roll rather, is really, really powerful. If your opponent crit hits you or something, or even if they roll like a 1 and a 6, that's even better, because it's like, oh, you barely hit me with that 7, but now you got to re-roll that 6. So that does come up, and it's very useful. What also helps a lot is this incredible defense power, which is impervious, and it can't be countered, which by today's terminology would say impervious protected outwit. You can't outwit his impervious. He's got Avengers team ability, not really a big deal, but he is 185 points, so he's definitely expensive. But you know, Flight, Indom, again, not that Indom's gonna do anything here pretty soon. 8 range though, pretty long range, especially by today's standards. It would have been nice if he had some running shot instead of just phase teleport in that special, but regardless, 11 attack, 18 with an unoutwittable impervious, and 4 damage with his own outwit is very powerful. He does have quite a bit of life in him. There you can see he keeps that 4 damage for quite a long time too. He gets some pulse wave there. A couple clicks into him. Click number 4, and then 5, he finally loses that special, but he's still got some invuln and some exploit weakness. And then he stays the same, and then gets some penetrating blast with some energy shield there for the last couple clicks before he's finally KO'd. So pretty long dial, lots of good damage reducing powers there. Nice long range, lots of damage potential with a lot of 4 damage clicks. But yeah, for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 4. So coming in at number 3 for Vision for me is this Age of Ultron event set Vision. One of the coolest vision sculpts in the game, I'd say. Just flying through that wall was really, really well done. Looks really cool. And he's coming in at an even 100 points, and we'll just take a look at his card real fast. So he does have this hidden programming trait, which when a friendly character whose name includes Ultron is given a move action, and actions resolve, you may give Vision a move action as a free action. That's really good on a robot theme team, especially when the rules change and you'll get theme team probs for being a generic theme. Now there's a couple ways around this real quick I want to talk about where you can play him on an Avengers team and still have an Ultron. So for one thing, if you play a Spider-Man on an Avengers team and you play the Ultron Spider Drone, he can join a theme team, I believe, and without breaking the theme, if there's a Spider-Man on the team as well. So you can actually just throw him on an Avengers team with a Spider-Man and throw in an Ultron Spider Drone. And then whenever that drone makes a move, it's got Ultron in the name, so he can move for free. That's really cool. Same thing also, you could actually play him with the Penny Parker chase, or the Steampunk Penny chase from the new Spider-Man set. And you could get that robot theme or Spider-Man theme and get the Ultron Spider Drones that way as well on a Spider-Man family team. But yeah, anyway, so that's a couple ways you can kind of get that free move off on a Spider-Man or an Avengers team without having to be a robot team. So that's a really cool power to have. But comboing that with sidestep, and whenever he is given a move action, he can use improved movement blocking terrain. Notice it's not destroys blocking, so he just moves through it without destroying it, much like his sculpt. It's really cool. And he also has flight, which is helpful to get around everything else. And then he has a special later on where he can use support, but only to target a character whose name includes Ultron. And he can use it even if he or the target's adjacent to opposing characters. So that's nice. Again, if you use him with the Ultron Spider Drones, you can use that to help heal them up a little bit. But on his own, he's really good. You know, he's got that sidestep to help move him up a little bit. Penetrating Blast with a 10 attack and 3 damage from 6 range. And that Super Sense's shape change combo is always pretty annoying to deal with. In Dom, again, not really a deal after the next rules change, but still was nice for his time. Now, his stats aren't really the best since they kind of go down to a 9 for a while, but he does get some charged super strength exploit there, some invuln. And then he goes into some phase teleport with some precision, back to super senses, and then he gets that support special for the last 3 clicks. He's got like 7 clicks of life though, so pretty good dial length. Like I said, I wish his attack was a little bit higher. I feel like that's most Vision's problem, is they can barely get above a 10 attack on a lot of them. But this one's pretty solid, even with that. He does have a lot of good powers. So anyway, for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is the old stick of butter Vision from was it Avengers Infinity set. But yeah, as you can see, he's just pure yellow, so not too fancy on the paint job, but he's a very, very powerful Vision. So he starts here with phase teleport, and when Vision is given a move action after resolutions, he may make an attack, close or range. Now this is just an attack, so make sure that you realize you can't combo this with his penetrating blast or exploit weakness, because he does start with both of those. But yeah, it's going to be just a regular old attack, but still a full movement phase teleport and then being able to make an attack is extremely powerful. But then he also has this awesome special defense power that says at the beginning of your turn, you may choose Invincible or both Shape Change and Super Senses, and you can use the chosen powers until you choose again. The until you choose again part of that is pretty important because sometimes he gets hit off of it into the invulnerability there on his mid-dial, and then he gets hit again back onto it, so you do still get to keep whatever you chose until you choose again, basically. So a lot of times I do love the Super Senses and Shape Change combo, but being able to choose Invincible is really good if you're going against characters with the Mystics team ability or with a lot of penetrating damage or whatever. Yeah, sometimes just having Invincible is really nice. But yeah, 10 attack, 3 damage with penetrating blast and exploit weakness, flight and phase teleport. Avengers team ability as well helps him get that extra +1 to movement. Actually super important for him. That gives him basically an 11 movement to run up and then 6 range to shoot from, We're talking about a 17 square reach with this guy. Pretty nuts. Combo this with a little bit of perplex on his attack. Maybe he can carry an enhancer with his flight or something. And it can get pretty crazy. So I do like this guy quite a bit. This is one of the best all-around visions for me. Just, being able to choose invincible or super sense shape change is such a good defense power, and that full move and then attack is so good. And then if you're not using that, being able to penetrating blast or exploit weakness makes him a threat at close or range. And then even mid-dial, sidestep, and close combat expert gives him some good damage output there as well. So yeah, just really awesome vision, and he's coming in at number 2. And as always, before we get to our number 1 pick, we'll throw out a few honorable mentions real quick. So this one is the other movie vision we got back in the Age of Ultron movie set, and I gotta give this one some credit for being just the most beautiful vision sculpt I think we've ever gotten up until now. Just look at the flowing cape flying through the air, so cool. Just really great job on that. Now, he doesn't have actually any special powers or anything. Flight and Indom, yeah, that's fine. No range, kind of sucked. He has 100 points even. He starts with the phase teleport, super senses, and some outwit, which is pretty nice. And he has just a straight up 10 attack, 17 defense, and 3 damage, like the whole dial. He just clicks that for 3 clicks, and then he goes into Invincible and Perplex with some plasticity. So he starts with the kind of, phasing, and then he gets, the super dense version there at the back half. And then he just dies. He's got 6 clicks. Interesting thing that they did there with keeping his stats consistent throughout. Not bad with the outwit and the perplex and everything. No range was really the worst part about this vision. If he had a little bit of range, he could have easily replaced the number 5 on our list. Yeah, you can see he doesn't have really anything on his card there. Now this other one, I actually lost the card for. I don't know what happened to it. But I'll just tell you what his special does. So this is actually the same sculpt as the marquee version and our number 4 pick. Just colorized. So his special movement power there is charge, but you can use it as a double power action, and if you do, then he can ignore all characters and terrain on movement, which is really awesome. 95 points, so decent costs. 4 range, which isn't too bad. Flight Indom, again, lots of these visions get Indom, but that's not going to make much of a difference soon. Decent. He goes down into some impervious and exploit weakness there. And then he gets some super senses with perplex, with the phase teleport, and then some KO. So he's pretty good. I really like the double power action to charge thing that ignores everything on movement. It was just really cool, and you can really surprise your opponent that way. Now his stats do kind of fall off. He's a little bit too old, but for his time, he was one of my favorite visions. So anyway, honorable mentions there, and without further ado, let's get to our number 1 pick. And phasing his way into our number 1 spot, we have the Shifting Focus visions from the Avengers Defenders War set. One thing I love about them is obviously this one is, full color normal, and this one is partially see-through. Really cool touch there. And these dials, for only 50 points, are amazing. So the only special thing they do here is the Shifting Focus Density Shift trait, which, if you guys don't know what Shifting Focus does, it just says give Vision a free action if he began your turn on the map and replace him with another character with this trait on the same click number. One of them having 6 range, phase teleport, flight, penetrating blast, 19 defense with super senses, Indom, and a 2 damage. And then the other one having 0 range, no flight, sidestep, 10 attack, 18 with invincible, and a 3 damage with exploit weakness. And then you can see here, this one gets some sidestep with range combat expert, and then this one gets some impervious with close combat expert. One really cool thing about this is since they both have sidestep at one point or another, you could use this one to sidestep and then switch to this one to shoot for penetrating blast. Or if, you know, you were later on and you're on this one, you could have this one sidestep up close to something, then switch to this one to hit him with a big close combat expert punch. So yeah, really cool. You know, start with penetrating damage, go into some close or range combat expert. Sidestep essentially on every click, depending on which one you take the free action to switch to at the time. One having flight is really nice because that one can carry something up, or you could start with this one and be carried up by something else, or, you know, just however you need to do it. It's just lots of really cool little strategic options with this shifting focus vision. I really think they nailed it with, you know, just how he can use his powers, kind of switching as needed. And yeah, for only 50 points, they have great stats, great powers, and just great, I think, accuracy as well. So for all those reasons, they're coming in at my #1 vision. All right, so that's going to do it for this top 5 list. As always, make sure you let me know all your thoughts and opinions about my list in the comments, and make sure to nominate a character for our future top 5 lists, as well as smashing that like button if you enjoyed it. I'd appreciate it. And don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future top 5 lists, as well as everything else Heroclix related. And if you guys would like to help support the channel even more, check links in the description for the Patreon. You can see your name here in the credits, as well as some other awesome benefits, so check that out. And thanks again for watching. Until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.